This is pattern 130-12 by Drops Garnstudio. It's a bit hard to show in the picture because it is like a very short bolero jacket, but in the picture it's in a very light pink and they're wearing a pink t-shirt under it, so it doesn't really stand out very well, but if you look online you should see a better picture. But as I say, it's a little short bolero jacket. Now I'm doing it in blue and I'm doing it in Drops Love You 5, which is an Aran yarn. Now you knit it in well, 3 sections for the main body, and then you do 2 small sleeves, but I might alter it slightly on the sleeves because I don't want little cap sleeves, I want a very short sleeve, so I might do that later. I shall have to mess about with that and see how it works. Now the diagram with the pattern shows you how to sew these pieces together. I don't know if you can see this here. You make 2 pieces with a bit of a turn in them. You use short rows to bring it round a corner, and then you sew it to the back piece. So the back piece is there in the centre, and you sew these pieces around it. Now these are the pieces I've got, so that's the back, and then these are the short pieces as in the diagram, so somehow this is going to fit around there. Now I don't know how that's going to work, I shall probably find out when I put it together. Neither do I understand how this is going to join, because the pattern has made a V on both pieces and this has got to be joined together, so I'm assuming I will have to overlap that, but then it's going to be quite thick, so again I shall just have to see how it works when it's put together. So I shall join that seam, and then this goes around this back piece. If you can see, this will come up here and be sewn in there, and then the rest of it across the back somehow, and the sleeves go into this part. So it looks a bit tricky. It was fairly difficult pattern to do. It wasn't hard, I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't a hard pattern. There was only a few rows for the repeat, but I kept making mistakes. I think I undid it about 4 times. The short rows were a bit difficult. You had to do those in here to make this turn this corner. If you can see that, the way it turns, you come across and stop part way, turn round and go back, and then the next row you go the full length and back, and then the next row a short row, and you do that to make it turn this corner. So it's quite a clever idea, and I shall see how it works and come back and let you know what it's like when I've sewn it together. See you later. Well, here it is, and I'm really pleased to say that it actually worked. When I came to sew it all together, it came to the shape that it showed in the pattern. This lovely shaped area here, little tiny collar. I did shorten the sleeves a bit, they were a bit too long for what I wanted, so I did reduce those down a bit, but they still fitted okay. And I shall try and twist it round on my homemade mannequin here to show you what it looks like at the back. There we go. I think that could look really nice with a long evening dress, or for a cool evening, perhaps even with a t-shirt and leggings. I'll take you in for a closer look at the pattern. The pattern is made up of a variety of stitches, from rows of garter stitch, stocking stitch in there, just little short panels, stocking stitch, and a reverse stocking stitch somewhere, and some more garter stitch. Then the pattern, which is this like a little V lacy shape, and then some more stocking stitch there. I did quite keep making mistakes when I first did it. For some reason I kept knitting when I should have been purling and all sorts of things, so it was undone quite a few times. But eventually I got there. It just needs some concentration, and I'm really pleased with it. You get this little collar up here which comes around, and then the shape of the front here. I'll show you the back too. So this was the panel that you knit in this shape here, this square, with the lacy effect down each one, and then you sew it in. Now this is a piece I mentioned earlier where I wasn't sure how it would fit together, and it wouldn't. You'd got this V shape, so I actually just joined it and folded each of the little V shapes backwards. It's not too thick in there, so I don't think it should cause a problem, but I'm not sure why it couldn't be started on the straight, unless it was me that made a mistake. Again, there's various panels with stocking stitch and garter stitch in that, and across here too some garter stitch. So I'm really pleased with that. If you do have a go, I hope you enjoy doing it, and I hope I've helped in some little way with the pattern, and happy knitting.